Policing and Community Engagement Update.
Okay, and staff report, please.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of council, city staff, and attendees. Prior to starting this presentation, I just wanted to provide a brief recap on how we got here. Back in June of 2020, the City Council approved the appointment of a Policing and Community Engagement Committee in response to the tragic death of George Floyd. The committee coordinated 8 virtual listening sessions where 15 stakeholders provided feedback on policing in Union City. We also received more than 20 public comments. This led to identifying 4 recommendations to reimagine policing in Union City. In September, the City Council provided direction to establish work teams to further research opportunities and create an implementation plan. Tonight's presentation will provide a plan for the work teams as well as next steps for implementation. Next slide, please. Just as a quick reminder, the 4 areas of focus with our work teams are going to be accountability and transparency, hiring and training, mental health and social services, and community policing. Next slide, please. The structure of the work teams will be as follows. There'll be 4 teams, 1 team for each recommendation. We'll have 6 to 8 members on each team, and each team will have 3 to 4 meetings. It will work out to a total of 12 meetings. The process will be virtual meetings. A PD supervisor or manager will host, and police staff will be in casual attire, and we're doing that to support dialogue. We'll have meeting recaps, so at the start of each meeting, we want to ensure accuracy from the prior meeting, and we'll have a support staff member to take notes at all meetings. Our priority is really to create an open and inviting environment for members of the team in order to generate productive and honest dialogue. Next slide. In the selection process, I wanted to provide some examples of stakeholders that we reached out to or are currently in the process of reaching out. And as you'll see, we'll really have a wide variety of representatives from the city and a part of the city participating in these work teams. Next slide, please. The focus of the meetings, number 1 is about data review and analysis. The PCE meetings and participants are going to be sharing and discussing not only the information we receive through the PCE meetings, but their experiences and ideas for policing moving forward. We're going to look to identify priorities and then make recommendations for new objectives and strategies moving forward. Next slide. In spring of 2021, I'll be providing a progress report. This will be after our work teams have met, and I'll provide the City Council a progress report on their recommendations. At that point, we will then move forward using those recommendations to build a new police department strategic plan. I have to say I'm very excited about that because I believe building a plan with the foundation of these 4 recommendations is critical. And to know that we have a plan built on accountability and transparency, hiring and training, mental health and social services, and community policing will ensure the change we're looking for is institutionalized for the long run. Next slide. This is just a little bit of an idea of what the steps will be after we have the work teams meet and we provide, or I provide you, the findings of those meetings. After that process, we will be putting together an internal survey, an external survey. We're going to organize a post-facilitated team building workshop. We will then build our strategic plan, and at that time, I'll bring it to the City Council for review and approval, and if approved, we'll publish a new UCPD strategic plan. Next slide, please. The purpose of this slide is to provide a timeline of how this is going to look. Obviously, December we started team member selection. We're currently in the process of establishing the framework and prepping all our work teams. February and March, the work team meetings will be occurring. In April, I'll provide a progress report to the City Council on the work team findings. May and June, we'll start our strategic plan steps of the internal and external surveys. In August, we have our team building workshop already earmarked for managers and supervisors. And part of the reason why we did that in August is because we are having a big transition of new supervisors and managers due to retirement. So we want to ensure our newest folks are participating in the meeting. And then in September, we will put the strategic plan together. And then in October of 2021, I will present the new police department strategic plan to the council. Next slide, please. So staff recommends that the City Council affirm the proposed framework for the work teams and timeline for integrating the recommendations into the Police Department strategic plan. That concludes my presentation, and if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those at this time.
Thank you very much, Chief.